We're here at SIAM Speaks. It's a platform where we speak to dignitaries about a lot of things, including what's new in the auto sector, what's sustainable, what is happening, and what was the past as well. Today we are joined by Mr. Veejay Ram Nakra. He is President, Automotive Division, Mahindra and Mahindra. Well, thank you for talking to SIAM Speaks.
Thank you so much for having me on SIAM Speaks.
And let's talk about electric vehicles. Well, electric vehicles, it's definitely a big move in the Atmanirbhar Bharat direction. Indian companies like you have made big strides in the EV space with four-wheelers, lots of good automotive technologies there as well. But let's talk about competing with global manufacturers. What do you think, where are we standing as far as competition in global arena in EV space is concerned?
Yeah, I think if you look at the Indian EV segment, we are still at a very nascent stage. And if I just kind of dial back, we are about 5-6 years into the evolution of the EV category in the country. 2018, the Honorable Prime Minister spoke about how EV is the solution to the climate challenges and the oil import bill challenge for the country. In 2019, we saw the FAME 1 policy come out. In 2020, the mobility policy talking about getting EVs to a 30% penetration came out. In 21, we saw PLI come in. So I think let's say the foundation or the building blocks that are required to take the EV segment from its current 2% penetration to global standards of 18-20% are in place. Now, unless and until we are not able to build scale around this, we will not be in a position where we would have a good economic supply chain that we set up in the country to support scaling up. So, from a competitive scenario where we are in the country today, early stages, there are very few models that are currently available. Most of them are ICE adopted EVs. We've not yet seen the entry of born electric or pure electric vehicles come into the country. There are about approximately 23 models that are slated for launch in the next 12 to 18 months. I think once that comes in, we will be able to see the advantage to the customer and the real competition playing out.
One of the big markets definitely are in other parts of the world. EV exports, that from that point of view, are very important. What strategies you think should we adopt in India so that India emerges as a big EV exporter also for many countries?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, because if we just dial back to the whole technology of internal combustion engines, India missed out on that opportunity of becoming a global player of scale. But today, since we are the third largest automobile country in the world, we are sitting with that great opportunity to make in India for the world in the EV space. So to do that, like I said, there are some building blocks that have already been put in place. But I think what we need is consistency of policy, consistency of direction, so that we get the entire ecosystem in the Indian automobile industry focusing around EV as the technology for the future. To a very large extent, if I can give you examples of some of the other countries who are now sitting at 30% penetration of EVs. If you take China, for example, I mean, the government has sort of steered the penetration of EV technology in that country with the support of almost $230 billion over 15 years. So I think we are at an early stage. We require focus. We require single-minded focus, if I can say that, and continued support till such time that we get to 20-30% penetration, which is when we will have scale. That will allow us to be able to make globally cost-competitive products as a part of the Indian automobile story.
And one of the big opportunities we can have in the supply chains for EVs, where do we stand as far as today is concerned, and what potential it holds, and what strategies should we adopt so that we become a formidable player there as well?
Yeah, I think the government has clearly spelled that out. As you can see, the focus of the PLI support has also been largely in that area. It's primarily in the areas of multiple technologies, in the area of, we have the PLI ACC to support battery manufacturing in the country. We also know that the government has set up a clear goal in terms of becoming one of the largest semiconductor countries in the world. So I think all of this are areas that will allow us to be cost competitive and also reach global scales in certain areas of technology and chemistry.
One point in EV we have always noticed is the entry level vehicles. If you start at the entry level vehicles, they touch 10 lakh at least on that scale. How do you think that government subsidies and government push is going to help that, or how should we solve this particular problem of bringing more affordability to electric vehicles?
See, I think there are two things. One is affordability and second is value. So I think what's happening today is also, if you see, when the customer is going out to buy an electric vehicle, while total cost of ownership is the primary decision of buying the electric vehicle, what actually happens is that the customer has to pay 25-30% a higher price or a premium over the gasoline or diesel vehicle of that same model. So what advantage the customer is getting for that additional price is only cost of economics. But as I was saying earlier, as technology changes, and of course, with that, there is only so much of limited range that the customer is getting. But as we start moving to pure electric vehicles, I think we've already moved from an average range of 100 kilometers per full charge to 200. Now we are in the hitting range of 300 as an industry. And with the new models that are slated to be launched, both in, like I was saying, 20 plus electric vehicles slated for the next 12 to 18 months, most of which are pure electric. That will then move the needle further up, be it in terms of range, about 400 to 500 kilometers per charge, and also the kind of technology and features that will be offered. The customer will find that value that the customer needs. As far as the sort of cost comparison is concerned, I think today there still is a 30-40% delta on cost when it comes to EV as a product, and when you compare it to ICE technology. I think, as I said, one, as we build scale around the supply chain system in the country, as we bring in better quality products, when we hit that scale along with the support that is being provided through the PLI policies that are there, and with the cost of battery cell coming down, I think all of this will combine together to be able to make more affordable, yet higher, what I would say, higher feature-led value to be offered to the customer through the range of EVs.
What are the innovative designs and products that can be incorporated in EV sector so that the costs are less, at the same time they remain attractive for the customers?
I think you're going to see that with a number of products that are going to be launched. At the end of the day, the customer is looking for a great value with a combination of great design, great technology, higher range, all of this put together. So I think, like I said even earlier, getting all of this together in a bundle for the customer is what will make all the difference.
Thank you so much for that, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure, sir.
Thank you.